Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome, guys.
As you can see, we are doing our first remote session. How's it going in Omaha, Jarell?
It is not bad. A little cold, about 50 degrees today.
Yeah, so
Arizona.
NocBro Nation, I am actually in Arizona on business right now, but we had to get this video out to you guys. Obviously, The Walking Dead, what was it, episode 13?
Episode 13. Do not send us astray.
All right, so let's get into the review. So we pick up with Morgan literally losing his shit.
He's losing his mind again.
Yep.
Seeing Gavin. Gavin's still standing there with the blood coursing out of his neck. And all he continues to say is, "You know what it is." That's all he continues to say.
Like, what did you think about that? Like, I honestly thought, like, okay, that was you were supposed to kill me, right?
I'm not really sure if that's what he is, if that's the meaning behind it.
Yeah.
I think maybe you know what it is, meaning, I don't know. It really is getting to Morgan's sense of stability. So he's losing himself right now. He didn't want to kill, so he has to kill. Now he's trying not to kill. So it's kind of tugging him back and forth. And I'm just thinking it has to deal something with that. I don't know what it is, but
like he's literally like swinging at air, trying to kill an already dead Gavin.
Yeah, for him to actually run towards him and try to swing at him means, dude, you're losing it, man.
Yeah, you are literally losing it. So, we pick up probably, I think the rest of the episode is actually at the Hilltop, and here we are, like, actually, we don't cut to Hilltop yet because Morgan sees something. So Morgan must see the Saviors approaching, because he immediately does the honking of the horn, and that starts the chain reaction of every lookout honking after that, right?
He hears another horn from another area.
That's right.
Then he runs and activates his horn, and then it's round and round we go until it gets back to the Hilltop.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
So we are back at the Hilltop, and they know that obviously an attack is imminent, right?
Yep. They're getting prepped, so we see Jerry, we see Tobin, King Ezekiel, not Maggie. We see Carol, we see little Henry, who wants to help, and he's kind of being a little annoying.
God, I wish they would quit with that little storyline, because it's just.
And later in the episode, he's just that little kid. So basically, it's just them getting prepped basically, and then we do get to see Maggie kind of, before the beginning credits go, kind of, here we go. So
it's about to start. So I loved Simon's, so immediately the Saviors roll up and they hit those spikes, and I'm like, that's awesome, because they planned that shit. Obviously the Hilltop planned that shit. The first thing that Simon says when he gets out of the truck is like, dang, I was really hoping to kiss that gate or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And then, of course, Maggie gets on the walkie-talkie that she has. She's assuming Negan is there. Simon jumps on, says, "No, you're talking to. Well, I'm talking on behalf of yours truly."
Yeah.
And I really like that care package that you sent me. The coffin. Joke's on me.
Yeah, joke's on me. I love that. Like, I am loving his dialogue. Like, I know that eventually he's probably gonna die pretty quickly. Here by the end of the season, but man, I enjoy it while you have that freaking Stephen Ogg, because he's an awesome actor.
It's great. And so he's basically kind of giving his prep speech to the Savior, saying, "Look, I know what our plans were before. This isn't happening. We are going to take this to conclusion.
Yeah.
No one will survive this." He's like, "I know that we dipped some of our weapons in blood and guts, but if you have a chance to, scratch them, kill some of them, but we want to take them all out."
Yeah. And so, I thought overall the episode was okay, but this first half was amazing because it immediately jumps into action. So
It does.
I believe that Maggie gives the warning shot to Simon, basically saying, "Look, we have 38 of your people. We're just going to start capping them if you don't turn around and head back."
she has a couple of them standing behind her.
The nice savior, which
One of the nice guy, yeah.
I still don't know his name, but yeah.
I think it's Alden. His name's Alden.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, so Simon kind of says, look, those guys, unfortunately, to be a true savior, you're not supposed to get caught.
What
so
a dick.
Screw them, he basically said to them. And they're just like, what?
that was a D move.
I just thought, at first, I thought he was just saying it to kind of just, give that ploy of, oh, yeah, kill him, we don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally thought that. I thought that he was just saying that to give Maggie the impression of, look, I'm not really, I really don't care about them. But deep down, I thought he was going to possibly retreat.
Yeah, I don't think he cares about him. He's like, you know what? Leave. I mean, at first he did, but now he's so full of rage that he just doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
So, so we do get Dwight, who's trying to kind of convince Simon not to do this. He's like, look, we don't know Negan's dead.
Yeah.
This isn't his plan. Do you really want to, be part of that if he comes back and finds out what we did?
Yeah, you could kind of see, for a split second, you could kind of see the fear in Simon's eyes, like, oh shit, what if Negan really is still alive?
Then he's like, you know what? No. You're going to take care of this, buddy boy.
To
conclusion. So we get Daryl on his freaking motorcycle with a gun strapped to the top, which
awesome scene.
They actually said that they from the behind the scenes, they said they took a part of that from World War II, where they used to do that. They'd strap a gun to the top of the motorcycle. They still had to make it somewhat, usable, so they could drive with one hand and use that with one hand. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. There was only one other scene that was cooler than that we'll get to later on. I hope you know what I'm talking about. The arrival of someone.
Yes.
But so yeah, so fighting ensues, and obviously, I think the Hilltop starts firing, right?
Yep, the Hilltop starts firing because as Daryl is kind of, after he's going around shooting and he kills a couple of them, he's actually heading to get back inside. So the Saviors jump in a couple cars, I think a truck or whatever, to say, let's get in there quick before they close the gates. Unfortunately, they can't get the gates closed in time, but they pull a bus right in front of them, which blocks their path.
Start firing.
And the Hilltop unloads on them. And what's funny about this is, what I did like about this, we'll get into a little bit later too, is they should have killed them all. They had them bottlenecked in.
Yeah.
And then after pretty much the big firefight where they're walking towards the house, where it's all pitch black and dark, you had the high ground.
Yeah.
You should
they had them completely surrounded from that mansion. They were at an elevated position. They had the high ground, Anakin.
Yeah. Anakin. I love it. I heard it for a split second. I was like, wait, did he say Anakin?
But when and then here we get the Saviors going into Robin Hood mode and shooting arrows, and and it made sense too, because to date we haven't seen Eugene give him any bullets, so of course they're gonna have some type of other ammunition, right?
Right. And so we do get to see, Rick comes in. He comes just barely.
That was the one moment. Yep.
Yeah. He just looks so determined. I mean, he just looks like, I can't. He's kind of like how Morgan always says, I can't be killed. Rick cannot be killed right now. No. He's just unleashing hell.
There's nothing stopping him. And when he came in, I gave a girly cheer because I was so excited to see him. But
I was like, oh.
Yeah. And we get kind of I thought this was a remix of the comic book where Dwight shoots Tara with an arrow instead of Rick.
Yep. So as they were getting in, Daryl is actually off to the side. He can see Simon and Dwight moving in on Tara, and right before Simon actually is probably going to kill her, Dwight shoots her with an arrow. Now I'm thinking his arrows are not tainted with blood. He did that purposely to save her life. Yeah. And even says later, hey, yeah, he did that to save my life.
And I think it's misdirection. I think it's to cause us to worry about Tara. But aren't you pissed off that for 4 episodes now we got Tara wants to kill him, Daryl wants to kill him. Now Tara doesn't want to kill him.
Yeah. Well, she kind of, and even after the last episode when he, jumped out of the bushes to kind of save her then, she kind of had a change of heart back then too.
That's
I think
true.
she still wants to kill him, but she kind of had a change of heart, thinking, I think he's on our side, but I'm not 100% there.
Yeah. She
Daryl
was like, he
still
saved
like,
my life.
yeah. Daryl's like, no, I saw what he was about to do to you. He took a shot at you. I knew what he was doing. We're gonna kill him still. Or I am.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah. So we do get, and this is one part where I didn't like, which kind of takes the show a little bit further to the, not the bad side, but what I kind of was annoyed with, is Tobin. So
Yeah.
Tobin gets stabbed with
But you know what? You know what? I called this like really early in one of our predictions where I was like, we're gonna get the C-list characters of Alexandria dying.
But they made such a huge thing about this. Like, he was on Talking Dead afterwards, but I mean, he's a great actor. But
oh yeah,
it's just, it's just like, why Tobin came in season 4 or 5, and he's been irrelevant.
I think it was 6, right?
5. I think it was like maybe 5.
Maybe 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been kind of irrelevant. So he does get stabbed, and I know Carol and him kind of had this little flirtatious thing, but it just didn't. I didn't like the way it turned out later on. So yeah.
So Carol pretty much explains to him her whole situation and what she was going through. So he doesn't get fatally stabbed that we know of the moment, but he does get stabbed. What's that?
Sadiq saves him.
Yeah.
Sadiq and others, but yeah.
Which that's another thing. Like, we didn't mention the Sadiq and medical lady scene where he comes in and she's just having him do this stupid shit and asking him and questioning his abilities of, his residency and his work being a doctor or trying to become a doctor, and he's just like, shut up and tell me what to do. Like, I'm loving Sadiq and the actor that plays him.
Yeah, he's really good. So we kind of, the Hilltop scene kind of ends with them, basically a lot of the Hilltop, or the Saviors, getting away.
Well, they get further into the Hilltop first.
Right? They do.
I actually liked this part because, like, it's quiet, it's dark, and you knew that this was a trap. And
this is what I was talking about. They should have killed them. They should have killed them all.
They should. But I think it was like one of the first times that we actually see Simon fearing. The situation that they're in.
But he was funny though. He's like, "We're about to make a house call." I love.
Yeah, so they're splitting up, or they're starting to slowly make their way to the mansion, and what do you know? Boom, lights turned on, which I think was a call to the very first lineup when the lights turned on Rick and crew. And they just start shooting up the Saviors, which bothers me because here the Saviors come walking into the compound like 80, 90, 100 deep. And when they first came, it did not look like they had that many.
No, they probably had maybe 50, I would say.
It looked like a lot more than that when they were walking into the compound.
It did, yeah, it did. But I don't know, it was pretty crazy. But I just didn't. I didn't like that they. I know it's a TV show, but they should have absolutely slaughtered them after they turned those lights on.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. They retreated, and we kind of get to the aftermath of everything. So we get a scene with Rick and Michonne. He's kind of just out of it. He's getting the bedroom ready. He's like, the kids are going to get in here. And Michonne's just kind of trying to, say, hey, just take a breath for a second, or let's talk. And Rick's just not having it right now.
He's not having it. I thought that was a really sad scene because you could just see the pain on him. And again, we've said this before for rightful reasons, but it was just tough to watch because here he is struggling with these boards. And Michonne wants to say something to him, but you almost got the feeling like she didn't know even where to start.
Yeah, she didn't really know. Maggie, tasks a couple of the Saviors to, dig the graves of their own people, that Alden guy, to dig the graves.
Who did step up during the battle, so we forgot to mention this, that during the battle, the little stupid shithead kid takes an assault rifle and goes out to the Saviors that are captive, and basically threatens them, saying, "Who killed my brother?"
That comes a little bit after. That comes after the Hilltop battle.
Does it? I thought it was during the battle. That's right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
That's after the awakening, which we'll get into that, which kind of annoyed.
Let's roll into that. Sorry, guys. I'm getting way too ahead of myself.
No, that's all right. So actually, we'll cut really quick. We did have a nice. I think we already mentioned that we had that nice scene with Tobin and Carol talking with each other. I think we mentioned that already, right?
Yeah. Well, so we didn't really mention what Carol said to Tobin, basically saying that she had to get away, and kind of rehashing all the stuff that we already knew that she was going through, right? She just had to explain it to Tobin because, honestly, I think he deserved an explanation. I mean, she literally just up and left him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we do get kind of a quick thing with Sadiq and Rick. Sadiq wants to, help patch up his wound.
That was brutal.
He does try to talk to him, kind of saying, not really, I don't know if it was like a religious line, but it was something that maybe he learned from his childhood or something like that.
He was going to speak the line that Rick speaks in the opening. My mercy is my right.
My mercy, yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah. I thought that would have been a cool tie-in.
Yeah, Rick wasn't hearing it, so he up and left and didn't get his wound patched up.
No, so now he's got 2 cuts because that one cut across his, I think it's his left eye, is like a huge gash.
Yeah. Yeah, so we get to the awakening, which I was annoyed by this. Just because, so as we know, Tobin is the first to wake. He turns due to the wound that he had. He was stabbed with the bloody guts.
I did think it was cool how they opened up with his chest moving in and out from breathing. Like, the whole scene I thought was awesome.
Yeah. So the biggest thing that annoyed me, right, is, so he wakes up, he turns a couple other people, and there is a house, a living room, full of people sleeping. And these walkers are falling down the stairs, making their noises, and no one wakes up. How is this possible? That no one wakes up to that. Now, I was so mad. I was like, "Are you?" This is where the episode kind of lost me. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
And was it just me, or did zombie Tobin, maybe have a little like sensory and sniff the people that were sleeping in there and just magically walked towards that?
Yep. I guess walkers can hear people snoring and sleeping or they can sense them. I don't know. You're just like, oh, there's people on the ground. I'm gonna go kill them.
So anyway, it was a slaughter fest. I mean, open slaughter fest. I don't know how many animated Hilltoppers there were from being infected from the chemical warfare, but it was a lot.
I mean, they did their job, and that kind of was you'd say a callback to the comics as well, as just everybody, the blood and guts thing, everybody's turning. So yeah, and they fight back. They kind of get it somewhat squared away, under control in a sense. And this is where we get to the dumbass Henry part.
Yeah.
So this kid.
As I was saying, Henry finds during all the chaos of the walkers, takes the opportunity to get an assault rifle, go out to the pen of saviors that are locked up, and basically threaten every single one of them until he finds out who killed his brother. Just an idiot. Unlocks the cage and goes inside.
Exactly. That was the dumbest thing he could have done. Gregory's trying to persuade him to give him the gun, let him out.
Alden's trying to do it too.
He's kind of saying, "Hey, kid, you don't want to kill us all. This isn't going to make you feel any better."
Yeah.
As the kid unlocks the gate, the one savior who did kill his brother, what does he do? He runs and hides behind somebody else because he's a freaking wussy.
Yep.
And the kid unlocks the gate. Chaos ensues. Guess what happens? They knock him over. They take his weapon, and actually, even at the end of the episode, Henry is MIA. They have no idea where he is.
I don't think we got really confirmation that Henry is dead.
No. Yeah. He was just knocked down. I mean, it didn't seem like he was like stabbed or anything. He didn't have any weapons, but he just seemed like he was knocked down. So they're assuming maybe he ran off in the woods to run after them, or something happened. I have no idea.
Yep.
So, whatever, little Henry. So, yeah, man, and that's pretty much.
I do want to quickly go back to when the
Oh,
war ended and they chased the saviors. When I say they, I mean some of the Hilltoppers and then Maggie and Rick come out of the gates chasing Simon and the rest of the saviors, shooting at them. We see the frustration on both Maggie and Rick, basically saying, I wanted to kill them. I wanted to kill every single one of them. And
yeah.
both of them are just so frustrated that they can't end this damn war, and that the saviors keep getting away from them.
Yeah. And when also Alden, a couple of the saviors actually stayed behind to help.
Alden.
Yeah, help them. So Alden kind of says, in a sense, it seems like the saviors turned our back on us, from the speech that Simon mentioned, and thinking Alden was just a good guy, and he's seeing that, the way the saviors are doing things just aren't what he wants to do anymore. So it seems like he's going to switch sides. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that, but seems good.
Yeah, I mean, he basically said, "What am I going to go back to?" Like,
Yeah.
you heard what Simon said. What do I have to go back to? What am I gonna? What's the purpose of going back to someone that doesn't care about us?
Yeah.
So,
And I think the episode
yeah.
ended with Maggie and Rex looking on as Jerry and Jesus are digging graves of all the dead all the dead people from inside the hilltop. So
Yeah, and it was tough too because Maggie, when we first there were a couple rounds of them burying the dead. The first round was from the battle itself, and here's Maggie already in conflict with the fact that she lost people during this battle, and
yeah,
the kingdom girl, kind of the right hand girl for the army
yeah,
of the kingdom, kind of says, "No, I mean I thought you were an okay leader before." And then tonight, you really proved to me that you're this true leader.
right,
And then we cut to the second scene of them burying people, and it's kind of different because not from the Kingdom Girl's part, but from Maggie's perspective, she's just kind of in awe of how many people she's losing here.
hmm yeah. All in all, it was a good episode. Just like I said, a couple of those things just bothered me. The falling down the stairs, walkers, and nobody can hear while they're sleeping, and
Yeah.
little Henry. But it was good. I think it was a good stepping stone episode for what's to come. We have 3 episodes left, and there's going to be more war. So
Yeah, definitely. I am so looking forward to it. Guys, let us know what you thought of this episode. Jarell and I are going to try and do our outro here at the same time. We'll see if this works.
all right, guys. Yeah, so let us know your thoughts, guys. Follow us on Twitter at NocBro Nation, and stay tuned for the next review of The Walking Dead coming soon. We are NocBro Nation.
We're out.